So we're going to start. Yes. Okay. Hello. I'd like to tell you about the 3-tap system we've got here. We've got hot and cold here. The hot comes from a long way away, so it takes about a minute for the hot water to come here. It is solar powered, but nevertheless it takes a minute. But I'd like to show you this system, which is the 3rd tap, which is basically a tube which goes from below the sink out of the wall up onto the roof through some black tubing and comes back in again. But now it's like 3:15. We've just eaten. I'm going to do the washing up. But like on maybe 150 days of the year, it's possible to do the washing up with really hot water without paying a single penny, with a system that's very cheap. So I'm just going to prove it to you and show it to you. So here we just put in a normal tap above the sink, and if we push it on, get some water going, and it's almost too hot to put my finger in. But we'll just I'll just see what the temperature of the actual water is by using one of these temperature gauges. So there you go. There you go. 44 degrees. So that's almost too hot to put my hand in. So I'll have to actually mix it. And okay, I'll just see you in a minute later, and I'll show you up on the roof. This is where the water comes out of the house. It's just connected into the water supply the other side of the wall beneath the sink, and then the water comes up this tube and goes into a black pipe there, and then it goes up the side of the house onto the roof, and eventually it comes back off the roof down here and goes into the house. It'd probably be nicer, a bit tidier, but it's okay. So the tubes come up onto the roof here, and they just go round and round a bit. Some people would put them more tidily in some nice some loop, but I've got loads of space, so I've just chucked them up here, just going round, and they're tied down here to the solar panels. These are my solar panels, and just while we're up here, just have a look at this view. So this is the conclusion to my video, but I know that just heating up 15 litres of water in a sink is very small fry, but using the same ideas, you could heat up a lot of hot water and provide like several showers for people, etc. Obviously, you would have to do that at the right time of day. But if someone had no electricity and no money, you could easily rig up with a very small amount of money enough hot water for people to have showers. I mean, especially if you live in a hot country or you live in Africa, this would be maybe quite useful. Anyway, I'm just going to give you some final information about my little washing up project. Okay, so here's the sink, and in the sink there are 15 litres of water, and the tube is the tube of water is heated up by the sun here. Now, let's say that the temperature of the water entering the house is 10 centigrade, and we want to heat it up to 40 centigrade, which is more or less what you need for a shower. Now, to do that, we use what would be half a kilowatt hour of electricity. Okay, now in Spain, the price of a kilowatt hour is 20 cents. So each time I wash up, I save 10 cents. Well, that doesn't sound a lot, but say if I wash up 200 times a year using this system, that means I'm saving 20 euros per year. But that probably doesn't really sound very much either. But But it would be, for example, if I had it as a shower system and I had like 3 or 4 showers every day. But even in a tiny situation like this, when I'm using the sun to wash up with, the advantage is it's much more convenient because the water comes in instantaneously into the sink and I don't have to wait for it. But there are also ecological advantages. So this system would save about 100 kilowatt hours per year. Okay, and so if you look on Wikipedia, they say that electricity generation creates approximately 200 grams per kilowatt hour. This is probably in Europe. I mean, this will get much better in the future, but at the moment it's about 200 grams. So each year you'd save approximately 20 kilograms of CO2, okay? So, which wouldn't be emitted. So if you if you were to get the amount of CO2 that you use in flying, if you do some calculations, it means if you use this system for 8 years, you would have saved enough CO2 to be able to fly from London to Malaga. And you would also, because you hadn't spent any money on electricity, you would also pay for the flight. So even with a tiny system like this, you could make a significant contribution to reduce global warming. Well, every little bit helps, I suppose. Anyway, we're just going to look, the final thing to look at the distance from London to Malaga on this map. And after 8 years, using this stupid little sink, you could fly free with no carbon emissions.